Few better places in the country weather-wise this time of year than this one right here, Tampa, Florida, and beautiful Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Set! Yellow 20! Big 20! 20!
On first down, Evans. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first. Play at second down.
Vernon Hargrave on the tackle. 1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
32!
Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out. 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Hey, exit!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Well, here's a 1st down throw that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Alpha!
2nd and 2. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered. It's both feet down for the completion.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for Buccaneer TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
Throwing to Stafford. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Taken in at the 11. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, alert 3. Tighten up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
out to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll look to throw here. And this one complete to Smith. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. $21-0 our score after one. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Watch twins. Watch twins. Hey, watch it. Watch it. Hey, easy. Hey, check motion, man. Put your
Out of the gun, Stafford. Steps away. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over.
down. 70, Indy. X3, 218, chopper. 25, check 25, check 25. Watch the edge. 5.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught by Howard. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Hey, Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, G.
Go, go.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a gain of 5. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Come on, set. 60 or. Hey, zoom.
Strong right. Even.
Ready?
They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. An 18-yard touchdown grab as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Their own 29-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure. There's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
The run there on first down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go. 8, read.
Check. Man left.
Hey, high 7. Go.
2 to Mike. Mike 5-2. Got you, boy.
6-6. Bullet hot.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This quarterback now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring him
into a double team, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Set, ready? 10 Lobo.
Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go.
General West.
Here we go. 51, Mike. Mike 51.
Snap.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Got it.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Fight 51. Mike.
Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Orbit.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
5.
They'll set up to throw. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Get it.
He'll drop to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's got Smith here. 15 yards on the play, first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. Oh, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And he completes it to Hunt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Go. 60 or
59. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he finds Howard complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll drop the throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Go.
That's going to be a long day. Right here, guys. Fight.
Back to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber. Hey, Echo.
Switch.
Get it.
He'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Hey, Foxtrot.
At the 28-yard line.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Slam.
Back to throw here. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that will extend this big lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Marvin Jones.
Check 3.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Lions.
Mike 18. Quarterback.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Big 20.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stafford looks to throw again. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
18.
3rd and 2. Stafford. Complete to Jones.
Stafford's
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. Now it's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Monday.
Creeping. Safety's creeping.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion and a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, it's Evans, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that's caught by Smith. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 30 yards there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Matchbox lights. Big rip.
Now they try the right side here. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Romeo Okwara just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and a mile. They're going to look to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He gets this one to Johnson. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. On 2nd and 12, Stafford, pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Get it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Stafford toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This is taken at the 23. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, Why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Watch out, watch out.
Hey, seam 6.
Looking to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Stafford now to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Off of play action, here's Stafford.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
That's taken it around the 40. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he finds Howard complete. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down?